Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Road to 1600. Today I've got a game where we're starting off just under 800. We're looking to get over that hump and then on to 900 and then to 1000. I played a pretty aggressive opponent today. I tried to sit back, bide my time, play a little bit more cautious than I probably would have in the middle of the game, but ended up with some pretty good moves towards the end. So stick around to find out how it goes, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing as we continue to grow. Let's get into it. Alright, let's jump in. Starting off today at 770, going up against 803, so a little bit higher than me, but pretty much the same. I think if I won this game, it would be plus 23 or something, so still not quite 800 yet, but we're working on it. So let's go ahead and jump right into this game. So I start off as white, and I like playing e4. That's the opening that I'm working with. That's something I'm going to try to become more comfortable with. So I'm going to start off with e4 openings. So he plays g6. I haven't seen this one before, and what I'm learning so far is that I'm going to see a lot of openings I'm not absolutely familiar with. So I'm assuming he's going to try to play c5 next. So I just tried to put some more pieces in the middle, take a little bit of that central position early on. So he pulls out his bishop. I try to defend my d4 pawn and just move e5. So, okay, he's got two pieces attacking e5. So I think I got a pretty good pawn structure here. Pretty proud of that. After this, if nothing else crazy happens, I'd like to start developing some pieces towards the middle. You know, I'm learning that you don't just want to develop pawns so quickly. You want to make sure you get a lot of the pieces out as well. Okay, so he takes, which is now threatening on d4. So I back up d4. He takes again. I wanted to do this because yes, his queen is looking at my bishop, but now my bishop is threatening his bishop. And if I go ahead and take him, I'm also threatening his rook there. So he takes, I take. I was expecting his queen to come down and take my pawn, and then I'd be able to push my queen up and give my queen the center of the board, and then probably go take a look at that rook on h8. But he brings over his knight to try to get some more central board pressure. I do the same, try to get some pieces out on the board. And this is some place where I really need to get better because I've been playing the Italian game a couple times. I've been trying to learn about piece development. And a lot of the things I've seen is, okay, get your pieces out, bishop to c4. That opens up the pressure on f7. But it's a hanging bishop right now. I shouldn't have pushed him out there for no reason, which is pretty much what I did. So we'll keep going here. Queen out to the left side, check. And this is where I kind of realized, like, you know what? Maybe I should have just brought my bishop out there for no reason, because too many times I've had hanging pieces out there. So I said, let's just trade queens. At bare minimum, I can try to get my knight out and maybe develop a little bit. My queen wasn't doing a whole lot, and I can get rid of this attack. If you had a better suggestion or something I should have done, I'd love to hear it, but that was my thought process there at the moment. So trade. I get my knight out into the, start to get towards the center of the board and maybe start to figure something out. So he castles, I castle, take. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't have any central pawns left, but I have some pieces in the center of the board where he really doesn't have too much going on in the center. So, knight. Okay, he brings over. And I was looking at that f2 fork. So if he brought his knight over to f2, I would have lost a rook. And so I didn't want to do that. I want to make sure I got my rooks to safety there. Okay, so he brings over, and I bring my bishop down. I figured, okay, so my knight on d4, if his rook takes or if his knight takes, I don't want to be the one to make the first move. I did a little, if he takes, I take, he take, I take. I would end up with a rook in the center of the board if he happened to take. So I wanted to just get my bishop a little bit of help, but also I wanted him to take first. I really couldn't think of like what else I wanted to do with this piece. Maybe I should have moved my d4 knight somewhere else. I didn't really like any of the moves for him, so I thought I would just kind of wait it out, play a little bit more passively in this sense, and wait to see what he did, which is why I moved my bishop out of the center there. So, okay, my bishop wasn't doing anything. He wants to trade bishops. Okay, I'm okay with that. And it opens up the f7 space if I could potentially get someone in there. So, move my knight up there because it now seems like a good time to do that and put pressure on his rook. So he comes down, take, I take. Now I have a rook in the center of the board, 2 knights. We're pretty much at even material here. But I like my development a little bit more because I have a open file on the D file there if I need to bring something up there. So we'll let this go a little bit. And the game kind of progresses like this for a while of just a little bit of cat and mouse of, all right, play a little cautious, put some pressure on, dodge the pressure. So I'll just let this go here for a little bit. Back and forth, kind of, yeah, get into check, another check, dodge the check, another check, dodge a little bit, come back, try to put some pressure, another check. Maybe I can try to get my rook back there and take his rook, do a rook for knight trade. Okay, we're still dancing around each other. You know, he tries to fork me over there. I get him into check. He blocks. I come back over, trying to take that knight. And this is a move I'm actually very, very proud of. I saw this all on my own. So, knight to e7, check. I'm going to win this rook. Pretty proud of that. You know, I lose my knight, but a knight for rook trade for me. He's down to 2 knights. I've got a rook and a knight. I'm feeling pretty good. That was kind of the whole goal. And so we dance around here for a little bit more. We get some checks. And at this point, I was like, all right, we're probably going to dance around for a while. So let's just try to get this pawn up to promotion. And that'll probably help my situation significantly. So let's just start jumping up here. So we dodge around. He tries to go for the fork. I go for the check. Go for the check again. He takes. Okay, we're still down. Check again. All right, we got to move the rook. We come back down. This was his big mistake. He probably could have salvaged something eventually, but trying to move his knight into my territory set up for the perfect fork here. Like, you just, that's done. You're going to lose your last piece of material. And now I move my rook over. We're going to try to go for a promotion, and that's it. So I played pretty cautiously there towards the end. He played really aggressive at the start, and I was a little uncomfortable, but after just stepping back, analyzing the situation, trying not to play super aggressive, kind of react to what he was doing, you know, it ended up working really well. He made the mistakes there at the end with to win the rook and then to win that last knight. So I feel pretty good about the game. I still feel like I could have done better. I think my accuracy was like 70-something%. So definitely a lot of work to do. But overall, good game. Good to get back in the win column. So the grind continues. Thanks for watching.